Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Story Not Forgotten podcast, brought to you as always by Capturing Legacies, because everyone's got a story to tell, and we want to help you tell it. Visit CapturingLegacies.com for more information. My name is Liam Rathgeber, partner and anthologist with Capturing Legacies, as well as your host, and joining me today is a Calgary broadcasting legend, Mr. Jimmy Hughes.
Legend. Let me look that up. You're the wrong guy.
Jimmy's joining us to help us with our Ed Whalen project, as well as to share a story for the podcast. So, since we do what we do without any ado, why don't you tell us a story?
Oh, boy. Story that might involve... Well, Ed Whalen was involved in this story. Make sure the children aren't listening here.
Yeah, content warning.
Content warning. So, working at the time, what we called eyewitness news. It's now global television. At one time, CHCT, it was called the Rock and Deuce, but worked there. I was on the Barlow Trail, and Brenda Finley, consummate broadcaster. She's international experience, been around the world, worked for the best networks in the world, and also a tremendous actress. She's just one of the best I've ever seen on live in acting. But I knew her best as a journalist, as a news anchor. So Brenda Finley was our news reporter, news anchor rather, and Ed Whalen was doing the sports. I was doing the weather. Mm-hmm. So the desk is situated behind the weatherman. Weatherman's to the left of the desk, and my back is to them because I was preparing the board. I was putting on the cold fronts and etc. Little magnets over Saskatoon, a little 2 and a 1. And
this is before it was all green screen.
Yes, before green screen, right. Magnets and chalk, like that tells you. And we were in
you were drawing in the clouds.
We were in a cave. No, I'm teasing. No. So, but it was before the green screen and the fantastic weather graphics they have today, 3-dimensional, etc. So Brenda's reading the news, and she comes to the story. I'm listening casually. Now, you must remember, in a TV studio, there's a bit of a protocol. The protocol is you don't, if the news anchor makes a mistake, drops the ball, bobbles a little bit, says the wrong word, nobody will laugh. They try not to make a deal of it. They don't want to distract that news anchor because of the integrity of news, how important it is, especially then. I shouldn't say especially then, but this is just the case of sort of the you don't touch the news anchor. However, if the... what do you mean by that? However, if somebody in sports messes up, you'll hear the crew laugh, or the weather guy messes up, he's a goofball anyway, and everybody laughs, and the weather guy is trying to make you laugh. See how far off he is. So I'm preparing the board. Brenda's reading the news, and she's got 2 cameramen. In between the cameraman, there's the floor director who gives her the counts, etc. These days, they almost always have robocams, for just there's nobody in the studio. Those days, we were fully employed, and so Brenda's reading, and I'm listening. She goes, "Eyewitness News has learned today of the crash of a Tudor training jet in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Both pilots ejaculated safely." Well, horror. So what happens is I'm doing this weather, and I stop and I look around and I go, did I hear that? I wasn't sure I really heard that. I see Ed Whalen looking at her like, did she say that? So Brenda finishes the story and gets to the commercial break, and at the commercial break she stops. She's off air, mic's pulled, and she goes, "Did you hear what I said?" In the meantime, when she said this, I'm looking around, I look at the floor director, he turns his back on her, and you could just see his shoulders going like this. The 2 cameramen are behind their cameras, making themselves as small as they can, and they're going like this. And I'm looking at this environment, and it's hilarious. So, in television, you don't have to say a lot to get the phones to ring. Trust me. And so I go into the newsroom after I'd done my weather. The phones are still ringing. We had 5 phones. They had the orange blinking lights at the time. 3 of us were in there were answering the phones. And when someone phones, you can't lie about it. I'd answer the phone and say, "Good evening, Eyewitness News," and the little old lady would say, "Excuse me, did I just hear Brenda Finley say ejaculate on television?" "I apologize, ma'am, we're very sorry. It won't ever happen again." And you're just polite and try and defuse the situation. But I couldn't believe the phones were ringing over, and you just finished that, get on to the next one, and the one you just came from. So finally, there's this one blinking at the very bottom. It's ringing and ringing. I think I'm the last guy standing, and I answer the phone, and I pick it up, and I say, "Good evening, Eyewitness News." And the guy on the other end goes, "No wonder they crashed." That happened. That really happened. And I've got it documented. I have that. I think it might even be on YouTube. I don't know, but that did happen. Brenda, love you.
Everyone's just cut away from this show. They're on YouTube now looking at it.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Well, Jimmy, thank you so much
My
for joining
pleasure.
us.
Yeah, my
Thanks for your
pleasure.
help on the Ed Whalen project.
Oh, it's great. You guys are fun. Thanks very much.
It's a great story. It shows that it's not that people are too sensitive now. It's just that people have always reacted.
That's true. Isn't that the truth? Thanks.
Well, everybody has a story to tell. Capturing Legacies is here to help you tell it. Visit CapturingLegacies.com to get started.